with one of my coaching clients. She told me that she wanted to sell $10 million in business. I said, great. How do you plan on doing that? She said, well, I really believe in myself. I know that I can do it. I just know that with confidence, I can hit my goal. And I asked, how are you going to hit your goal? She said, well, I made this vision board and I've been focusing on it and I'm really excited. I just know I can hit it. Well, how are you going to hit your goal? I'm going to work really hard to hit my goal. I'm going to work harder than I have ever worked. And again, I asked, how are you going to hit your goal? She didn't really know what she needed to do, and it's important to figure that out. In order to really move your business forward, sometimes you need to do a little backwards thinking. What I mean by that is in every business, it takes a certain number of dials to make a certain number of contacts, to make a certain number of appointments set, to have a certain number of presentations run, and then you have to have a certain number of presentations run in order to close a certain number of sales. Your business might be a little bit different in terms of terminology, or your sales process might be slightly shorter or slightly longer, but in every business, it follows a sales cycle. First, we have to track our numbers, and we actually have to know how many dials it takes to get someone on the phone. That's our dial to contact ratio. We have to know things like how many contacts it takes to set an appointment. We have to know how many of our appointments actually stick and turn into presentations. Out of those presentations, what's our closing percentage? How many of them turn into sales? And what's our average package size? Once you know those numbers, then you can do a little backwards thinking. Start with the goal that you want to hit. So let's say you want to sell $10 million in business. First, you start there. In order to sell $10 million in business, you need to take your average package size, your average units per sale, customers per sale, and figure out how many sales you need to make. The next thing you do is take your closing percentage and figure out how many presentations you need to run in order to have that many customers. Then you back end it out and figure out how many appointments you need to set based on your appointment set to kept ratio. Then you figure out how many contacts you need to make, and ultimately how many dials you need to make. That's what you focus on. Once you know those numbers, you focus on how many dials you need to make, how many contacts, appointments you need to set, how many presentations you need to do, and that is what you put your focus on. So many of us focus on the results. If you focus on the results, that leads to pressure. Lots of pressure. And under pressure, we implode. Instead, focus on the activity that is going to lead to the result. You can almost forget about the goal, forget about the revenue, forget about the money you want to make. Focus on the activity, and when the activity is there, the results just follow. To really get ahead in your business, do a little backwards thinking.